Outstanding. Target designated.
Nuclear launch detected. Clear under attack.
Prepare to die.
Imaging complete.
Non-vigilant.
Hey people, this is the 5th day of the OSL Round of 16. I'm going to start it off with Flash versus Hyuk. Should be a fun one. Of course, as you know, Hyuk is undefeated in this group so far, 2-0, and he's going up against Flash, who is at 1-1. It's like we're living in some kind of bizarro world. I expect these guys to have mustaches and walk backwards or something, but this should be a good match anyway. Going to be on Icarus, which is not exactly a friendly map for Terran players, but this is Flash we're talking about. He has cybernetic implants, he'll be fine. He nullifies any kind of map imbalance with his map hacks and just stellar, micro, macro, the whole lot. He's just a really well-rounded Terran player. And I think that Hyuk might have finally met his match here. He's already gone against 2 Protoss players, which is his best matchup, and won those. But this is freaking Flash! If Hyuk does somehow manage to pull this one out, it would be a miracle. A Christmas miracle! Okay, here we go. Except, over at the 3 o'clock position in yellow is Hyuk. That means up at the 12 o'clock in red is Flash. Should be a fun one. And of course, Hyuk, he has kind of the CJ Entis Height Entis face going on, even though he's not on that team. He never smiles, just always looks, trying to get that badass face going. Like, I'm Hyuk. And Hyuk, not nearly as terrible as he used to be. He used to be a disgrace, but now Hyuk is just, he's doing well. Very well. Of course, he's abused his best matchup in this OSL so far. But even if he doesn't take down Flash today, you can't take away his accomplishments in this OSL. He's almost guaranteed himself a spot in the round of 8. Speaking of which, I should get my Who's Screwed, Who's Not So Screwed score sheet out of the way. I didn't write anything down, but I'm going to try to do the math in my head, which I'm telling you right now, anyone in the journalism field cannot do. Even the simplest math, you don't even need to carry any numbers. It's just, we can't do it. In fact, we had a reporter today walking around with a calculator that was just in pieces. He's like, this thing exploded. I don't know what happened. So yes, even when reporters try to use calculators, they explode in a horrible explosion of numbers. And oh, nice. Oh, thank you so much, person in the audience. This guy actually left a comment on the front of my channel. Oh, that's so nice of you to do that. But yeah, I had like 5 people tell me about that today. It would have been much, much more surprising if they hadn't, but I was kind of anticipating it in this match. I just wasn't sure when it was going to happen. God, I forget what I was talking about now. That is just so cool. Finally, a sign in the OSL, too. That is freaking sweet. The league I actually cast in. Had one in the MSL a week or 2 ago. And in Pro League, GSL, everything I don't commentate on. But that's it. OSL sign in the OSL. I'm so excited now. And I completely forget. What was I have no idea what's going on now. But Flash has snuck in here. He's getting the scout inside of Hyuk's base. He's looking around for anything cheesy. See if Hyuk's going to run some Zerglings by. Hyuk, well known for those timing attacks, although in this OSL so far he's already shown both styles of play, super defensive and super aggressive at the same time. In his game against Paralyzed, he used a very defensive strategy, which I don't think he's going to do against Flash. He wants to take down Flash as quickly as possible. I mean, the longer the game goes on, the stronger the Flash is going to be against Hyuk. It's not like Hyuk is terrible in late game or anything, but he's dealing with Flash. Flash, it doesn't matter how late into the game it gets. It just seems like he gets better and better and better as the game goes on. It's just his multitasking abilities are insane. But Flash, he's looking around for that Overlord, making sure it doesn't sneak too close to see the command center going down. But I think that Hyuk might have seen that anyway. I'm still very excited about that sign. But Flash has thrown down his second base. And, I was going to talk about the who's screwed, who's not so screwed thing. I didn't write anything out. As I said, going to do the math in my head. Okay, that's what I was talking about. So, okay, if Flash wins this game, he will be 2-1. That'll put Hyuk at 2-1. And the next matchup will be between Cal and Paralyze, of course. If Cal wins that match, he would be at 2-1. So that would force an upper rung tiebreaker. And 2 of the 3 guys between Cal, Hyuk, and Flash would move out into the round of 8. But of course, if Paralyze wins, that would knock Cal out too, and Paralyze. So that would give Paralyze no chance if Flash wins this matchup. So Paralyze fans got to be rooting for Hyuk now. And speaking of Hyuk, he is going for 2-hatch Muta. Nice, very aggressive opener. And this is definitely the map to do it on. I've seen several Terran players. I think Fantasy was kind of complaining about this map or something in an interview. And I've seen Flash complain about this map as well, saying it's very tough to deal with Mutalisk on this map. Grrr. I mean, Hyuk, this is definitely the strategy he wants to go for, being this close to Flash's base, because he might be able to beat that turret timing if he can get in there with these 2-hatch Muta. This is a smart build from Hyuk, very aggressive, which is what he needs to do to take down Flash's early Expo build. But alright, what was I saying? Oh yeah, if Hyuk wins this matchup, he will 3-0 the group and guarantee himself a spot in the round of 8. Now that would put Flash at 1-2, so Flash would have to hope that Paralyze beats Cal, because that would force a lower rung tiebreaker between Flash, Cal, and Paralyze. But of course, if Cal wins in the next game after that, he'll move up no matter what, knocking out Paralyze and Flash at the same time. So those are the stakes. This is a very high-stakes matchup, and Hyuk definitely wants to secure himself a spot in the round of 8. He's almost guaranteed to get into it anyway. But here we go. Here's going to be the aggressive strategy from Hyuk. I don't see any turrets yet. From Flash, he's waiting on the turret timing. He's waiting to scan first before throwing down turrets. Does he even have his engineering bay? I assume he has his engineering bay, and I hope he does. If he does not, he would be screwed. Yes, he does. Building the turrets. Those turrets are going to be late. Even at the natural expansion, I think they're going to be very late. Hyuk is going into the main. I think he might have been able to get more damage done at that natural, but he is sneaking into the main. There's Flash pulling all of his troops back. He kind of had to stop Marine production to reposition his barracks. But now the turret's coming out. One turret is up for Flash. Trying to build a second turret behind his main, but Flash going to be forced to run his SCVs. He was late on that turret timing because Hyuk went for such fast mutas. If Hyuk had gone for standard 3-hatch muta, I think this game would be going a lot differently. Although Flashy has put up a couple of turrets at his natural expansion, I think that's going to be okay for the time being. He's trying to get his medics wedged in there. He's kind of medicless behind his main. But now Hyuk's going to look for an opportunity to take down some more SCVs. He's going for the natural now. There are 2 turrets over there. Flash built a couple of turrets right next to the barracks, so Hyuk can't harass that. But Hyuk has wedged himself between the 2 bases, a very dangerous position for Flash. He's got to get in there with his Marines, stem, get in there, take down those mutas. Now the mutas might fall into a turret trap, but they go too far over here. Now Flash, he's put 2 more turrets down. But Hyuk is running over here, Flash trying to keep up. He's running back and forth between the bases. That's exactly what Hyuk wants, because Hyuk is expanding at the same time, putting down his 3rd base. Now Flash building turrets all over the place. I don't know, he put 6 turrets by his barracks. This is a bit insane for Flash. He might be expending a bit too many resources on those. I think they're much more needed behind these bases. Finally, he's putting down some more turrets behind the main. And to capture the mutas from Hyuk as they move in, trying to snipe SCVs. But Hyuk finally getting that 3rd base up and running, transferring some drones over there, at least I thought he was. He's very, very low on drone count. He's been focusing everything on his unit count, on getting mutas out. The most mutas as he can possibly get. Some more turrets from Flash. He built 3 turrets over here. That should be able to make him okay, but nope. Hyuk is actually breaking through anyway. Dancing back and forth between the ridge, make it very difficult for Flash to protect himself. So yeah, Flash got to build a few more turrets behind that natural expansion. But, man, he's built so many turrets already. This is going to put him behind, actually, in getting his next barracks. You see he's still only at 2 barracks, trying to get up his economy. Once he's running for a while on these 2 bases, I think he's going to be okay, even against this amount of mutas. But it might be pretty tough for him to fight this off, actually. I think Hyuk definitely has the right game plan. Started off with the early aggression, now he's going straight muta. Although the longer he stays at straight muta, the worse off it's going to be for him, I think, because Flash has excellent anti-muta play. Even on a map like this, where the ridges are behind the natural, he'll find a way to take this down. He's already floating over his engineering bay. I guess he got his +1 upgrade that he needed. So he's going to float that over to get the vision on these mutas behind the natural. I think that's smart. That's going to give him a heads up once those mutas are dancing back and forth. He's going to know to go in at the same time with those Marines. Okay, now he's working on his tech, getting the factory straight to starport. So I have a feeling he's going to go straight for that vessel to get the irradiate on that Mutalisk clump. And that would be extremely deadly for Hyuk's build at this stage in the game. To lose every muta, that would put him way down on unit count. And look at the amount of turrets that Flash has. He's built like 10 turrets behind his main. Well, 6 turrets over there. At 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 turrets. This is insane. Flash, I think that Hyuk has Flash scared at this point. I can't really say that for many matchups. I think Flash definitely is scared of the mutas. But he has plenty of turrets now to fight back Hyuk, but he just might have built way too many turrets, especially those turrets by his barracks. I think that was kind of unnecessary, and that is going to put him behind on his push to move out and actually do some damage to Hyuk. Of course, he scans in the middle, finds the mutas, so he's going to try to go out, snipe these mutas. I don't know what Flash is doing, though, because he doesn't need to commit any troops and lose any troops to this. All he's got to do is hang by his turrets now and play defensively as he groups up units. That's what he should be doing at this point. He doesn't need to push his luck anymore and lose the only army he has on the ground from 2 barracks still from Flash. Of course, working up to the starport that quickly. He's already pumping from the starport, and he has his armory, so he's building Valkyries. Flash is ridiculous. He's building Valkyries to fight back the mutas. This could actually be very effective as long as he keeps his Valkyries alive from Scourge. But he's going to use Valkyries. He is very scared of these mutas. He's thinking that Hyuk is going for an all-muta build, which he's not. I saw a Hydralisk earlier, which means that Hyuk is switching into Lurkers. And once, there's the Valkyrie, so the Valkyries isn't going to help much against Lurkers, of course, but it will help fend off the mutas, even though there are 20 turrets, probably more than that at this point. But here come some Lurkers already from Hyuk, going to push the front, and Flash hardly has anything. He hardly has anything. He focused everything on that tech to get up the Valkyrie, that one single Valkyrie. But Flash moving out a little bit. He researched mines. This is a strange build from Flash, especially trying to fight off this kind of a build from Hyuk. But forced back a couple of mines, not really doing anything. Hyuk is very smart to run up with his Zerglings first, trying to drag those mines into the Zerglings so they don't hurt the Lurkers. Coming up with all of his Lurkers at the front. Now Flash, he's going to have to repair that one remaining bunker right by his natural expansion. 2 Valkyries go out to chase off the mutas, but there are still Lurkers at the front. Of course, Flash won't have to worry about detection. He has plenty of turrets at the front to help himself. Both of the Valkyries go down from Flash. Oh, Hyuk is winning this game. Hyuk, he's pushing the front now with his Lurkers. Okay, now Flash has snuck out with a couple of vultures. He'll be able to get some harassment on at least, because Hyuk has devoted everything to getting out the units to the natural expansion for Flash. He's sending everything there for a full frontal assault. Of course, as I said, Hyuk, very aggressive player, loves those timing attacks, and that's what he's going to do here. There is one tank there to defend, and now Hyuk coming in with every single one of his Lurkers. And the mutas at the same time. There's still 1 Valkyrie in, so I think the mutas will eventually go down. But Hyuk, he's blasting through with his Lurkers, and he killed everything at the front, and he's going to be able to shut down this natural expansion for Flash as he works inside the main. Of course, Flash, he's still... I was going to say he had mines to protect himself, but Hyuk actually sniped those with the spines from the Lurkers. And Flash falling apart inside of his main. He has nothing really to defend himself except for this one tank. He's doing pretty good because tanks do outrange lurkers, but he's got to stay vigilant back here. Snipe the lurkers with a single tank. He's still within range of the of the lurkers, but Hyuk is not letting up the pressure. He's not letting up at all. Just continuing to pump troops, send them straight to Flash's base, dragging mines. Everything's on fire. It's Hyuk style. Hyuk lost so many drones down at that 5 o'clock position. This really is Hyuk style. Hyuk style is when Hyuk wins after losing all of his drones. And yeah, he's not mining any drones from that third base. This is completely... Yeah, Hyuk is trying to end the game right now. He's saying, I want to end the game now. I don't need any extra drones. I just need to pump units until I win this thing. And it's probably going to be successful. Of course, Flashy has 3 tanks fighting this back now, but he lost so much mining from that natural. I don't really see how he can recover. He does have the siege. Now he's in siege range of all the lurkers. He'll be able to take out the lurkers. As Hyuk is making his way back to the natural expansion, trying to lock that down a little bit longer. If Flash fends this off, he might be able to even this game up a little bit, because Hyuk has not committed to any more drone saturation at that 5 o'clock, but still it's looking very dire for Flash against Hyuk. I mean, who would have guessed this? This is insane. But Flash, he still has a couple of tanks left. He can position those at the high ground, protect against any other aggressive attack from Hyuk. And Flash is looking around for some more drones to snipe. I think he actually went down to the 5 o'clock, saw that, well, no drones. I think I'll go to the next base. Went up there and got intercepted. But now I think that Hyuk is committed to all Hydralists. He's pushing the front with Hydras, it seems. Yeah, he's just going up there with Hydras. He might have to wait for some his Overlord speed or something, because there are a lot of mines still out in the field protecting Flash, as he still has a single Valkyrie. But Flash has got to get rid of these Overlords. The Mutalisks are going to snipe the mines and allow the Hydralisk safe passage up to the natural expansion again. But one single Valkyrie is the only anti-air that Flash has. He has no other form of anti-air. And he lost all of his turrets somehow. He lost every single turret that were by those barracks. So things not looking good for Flash. He repaired his Valkyrie, repaired that one single Valkyrie that he has, but he's clinging to dear life. 2 turrets left over at this natural expansion, and Hyuk focuses in on the tanks. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for our buddy Flash. His Hydralists, lots of Hydralists pushing the front. I mean, even in versus Terran, Hyuk goes for a Hydralisk break of the front. This is ridiculous. But Hyuk is going to be able to end this with Hydras. He sniped all the tanks, so there's no siege to worry about. So these Hydralisks are going to be able to take down the command center and everything else, as Flash basically only has SCVs to help himself battle this back. He threw one single Marine into that bunker, I think, but he's not even repairing that bunker. Oh, the sad face from Flash. And yep, Hyuk beats Flash and 3-0s the group. Zany. That was wacky. And now Flash is going to have to root on Paralyze, as Paralyze goes against Cal. And Hyuk is already into the round of 8. We have our first round of 8 seed now. Our first seat in the round of 8 is filled by Hyuk. So if Cal wins against Paralyze in the final day of the OSL round of 16, Flash will be knocked out of the OSL. The freaking Golden Mouse winner might be knocked out. And let's move on to Group B.